Alrighty, today we got a bit of a interesting discussion about a certain weapon, but before that, no, I don't use Shadow Throne. Can you stop obsessing over my light level? Please, please, you know who you are, thank you. Okay, yes, okay, bye. Okay, the weapon that I want to talk about today is Bequest. A lot of you are probably saying, what is a Bequest? It is the sword from Deepstone Crypt, the raid from Beyond Light. A lot of people discarded the sword, and at first, admittedly so, probably. You know, they thought, Fallen Guillotine exists, why would I want to use this? Well, there's actually a couple of good reasons as to why you can use this sword. First off, the good rolls, or the god roll that it can roll, is Assassin's Blade or Surrounded in this perk slot. Personally, I think Surrounded's better. That's just me. That could be personal preference, though. And in the other slots, you, of course, have Relentless Strikes, which is normally what you want to have, or Thresh, if you're going for solo activities or you're a solo player and you just want to get fast super energy. And I will say, trust me, this is actually really good. In particular, Perdition, the Lost Sector on Europa, if you are soloing for exotics, this thing is absolutely nuts. I'll put a video on the screen of me doing that Lost Sector in a minute, and by the time I get to the boss, I already have my super. Now, the other reasons why I mentioned this sword is, obviously it can roll things like the other swords can't, like Thresh, for example. Guillotine can't roll Thresh. Then you have its impact. It actually has the highest impact damage of any legendary sword in the game. Yes, higher than Falling Guillotine, and the only sword I think that is higher than it is the Lament, which is obviously an exotic sword. And while Lament is busted, obviously, I'm sure we all know this, it does take up an exotic slot, and sometimes you just don't want to put your exotic into that slot. Maybe you want to run, I don't know, Witherhoard, for example, which is a really good exotic, but obviously you can't run Witherhoard and Lament. Now, the other reason is that it's an arc sword. Why do I bring that up? Well, how should I put this? Arc swords are absolute trash in this game right now. Temptation's Hook is the only other arc sword that anybody could probably ever think of off the top of their head that is not Sunset, and Temptation's Hook is absolute garbage. I don't say that lightly. It really is. It's a sword that does less damage than every other sword, and it takes up way more ammo than any other heavy attack for a sword. It's a combo recipe to just fail. It really is. However, Bequest is the complete opposite. It has great ammo, it's the highest impact, it has Surrounded, it has Thresh, its uppercut attack does plenty of damage. It's just nice and synergistic. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm claiming it's a word now. You heard it here first. It just works. It does, as the footage will show. It's like the best you can ask for in a sword that's not Guillotine, basically. And this can even compete with Guillotine on certain things. Like, for example, some activities will have Arc Singe instead of Void Singe. Obviously, on Arc Singe, Bequest would blow Guillotine away because Guillotine is a Void Sword. Same thing with Lament. Lament is solar, but if there's a different element on the board, Lament will still lose to the other sword just by proxy of the Singe giving a ton of extra damage. And for that reason, I think people should go after this sword if they happen to, you know, run Deepstone Crypt weekly, or they want a good arc sword for certain activities. Maybe you want to solo Lost Sectors for exotics. Maybe you're just a solo player. Maybe you want to go into Nightfalls with something different other than a Lament or Guillotine or Anarchy, which is getting nerfed soon, so there's that. And that's it. I just think this is a really good sword, and people don't talk about it at all. Most people don't even know that it exists. I get the same comment all the time. What sword is that? I've never heard of it. Where do you get it? How is it this good? Etc, etc. So I thought I'd just make a video on it, and I'll rant on it a little bit. If you have any other questions about it, feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer. And you could also watch me use this sword on Twitch when I stream daily at twitch.tv/SneakyBeaver. I'll catch you guys there. Also, if you enjoyed this video, a like and a sub would be appreciated. I'm clapping for no reason. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and hit that bell. Don't forget that bell, alright? I swear, it's going to come after you if you don't, okay? Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next one.